Ever since I saw him in an episode of Superhero Squad, Galactus has always been one of, if not my favorite supervillain. A cosmic entity labeled the Devourer of Worlds, I mean, you don't get much more evil than eating planets. Anyways, when I was a youngin', I was infatuated by the 2005 Fantastic Four, and upon learning there was a sequel, I had my mom get it for me, and I remember watching it for the first time. Now, I had no idea Galactus would show up, but the movie begins with a planet being destroyed, and right then and there, I had a feeling that my boy was involved. 30 minutes in, Silver Surfer tells someone that Earth awaits, and another 30 minutes later, he name drops Galactus.
It is known by many names. My people called it Galactus.
Oh yeah, he's in this. And almost immediately after, we see his shadow float by Saturn, and as the film nears its end, we see a giant cloud, to which young me thought, Galactus is in there, he's gonna land on Earth. Then Silver Surfer flies into the cloud and we see the fiery silhouette of Galactus, and I thought we were about to see the classic purple helmets, but no. Silver Surfer kamikazes and destroys all of Galactus. And that was one of the biggest disappointments I'd ever experienced at that point. So what makes this a bad adaptation of Galactus? Well, to begin with, Galactus has such a unique, iconic design, but here we never see more than his silhouette. It is a common misconception that this is Galactus. This is not. This is just a solar storm that surrounds him. But we never actually see the true Galactus in this film, which in itself was a letdown. All we see is his silhouette, but we don't actually see the classic purple and blue design. I personally think this was attributed to the general climate around superhero movies at the time. This was when they were starting to become more serious and grounded. That's not to say this movie didn't have silly moments, but when it comes down to it, it feels like they didn't go with the classic Galactus because they didn't want to show a big purple and blue guy with a weird helmet. But diving deeper, another big issue is that there is no depth to this Galactus at all. He doesn't seem to have any motivation other than just eating planets, which in theory is fine because that's who Galactus is at his core. But in a story like this, it makes him a boring, worthless antagonist. Compare that to the recent Galactus in 2025's Fantastic Four First Steps. This Galactus actually has a more defined motivation. Upon seeing the power in Franklin, he wants to pass on his curse to him. So his goal goes beyond devouring Earth, it also becomes getting the child. It makes him a much deeper character and in turn a much more interesting antagonist. Sure, devouring the Earth is bad enough, but he also wants to turn Franklin into a cosmic deity too. That makes him a far more engaging antagonist, and it also makes you want to root for the Fantastic Four even more. On top of that, we got a much more true to form look for him. Sure, it could have been more colorful, but the more dull look to him fits for what they were going for. There is also some great use of practical effects, including a practical costume which looks fantastic, pun intended, and Ralph Ensign gave a great menacing performance which elevated this Galactus further. By sticking to a more traditional design and giving him a more defined motivation, they made this Galactus a far more interesting character and the cinematic Galactus that I yearned for almost 15 years. Thanks for watching. This is a new channel, so I don't really have anything to promote yet, but I want to upload on here every other week, so subscribe for more content very soon. Thank you, and have a great day.